As far as getting on YouTube, because it's like anything, right? Like same thing with social media, Instagram. When you start with 0, and it's like, how do I grow it to 250,000 subscribers? So, yeah, viral. Shout out to Drake, viral movie. Shout out to Drake, Fabio Foreign, and Sosa Geek. I think that's his name.
That's your song, man.
That's my favorite song right now. So your first video, you have no subscribers and you have 32,000 views on that video in a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of views. How did you do that? How'd you do that?
So YouTube has little pockets and little niches, little communities. So what I did was I found videos that look like my type of content. I would search. So my first video was a story time. What I did was I searched story time, and then I filtered the results by upload date, and that puts the newest uploads at the top. So then I searched for videos that kind of looked like they were in my neighborhood on YouTube, my community on YouTube, and then I would comment on their videos like, I could totally relate, I made a video similar to that. It wasn't very spammy, like, hey, check me out, I just started a channel, but it was like, it was a comment letting people know that like I did also upload something similar. So from that, what that does is it puts your comment there, and everyone does it where they're watching a video and they kind of scroll to see what the comments say. And so if your comment is there and you're one of the only comments there, even if that video is only going to get 1,000 views, there's a good chance that a portion of those views are going to see your comment. And from those views to your comment, they're going to see your channel, and maybe they're going to either subscribe or engage with your content somehow. So that was one thing that I did to grow my first video and how it got so many views. I was commenting a lot. And then now as I've grown, I don't really get an opportunity to watch people's videos and make relevant comments as much, but I'll watch my videos on incognito and see what shows up that's similar to my channel and how I can put my spin on it and do it better. Because when I watch it on incognito, there's no bias there. There's no other channel history.
Can you explain that, incognito?
Yeah, so incognito is just browsing in private mode. So on Google Chrome, it's called incognito, and in Safari, it's called private browser. But what that does is it doesn't warp the search information. So there's no bias. When you watch a video and you're signed into your profile, YouTube is recommending videos for you based off of everything that you've ever watched on your profile. That's why you'll watch like one cleaning video, you'll go back to your homepage, and there's like 4 other cleaning videos recommended to you. And it over time, it builds up a profile for you and a portfolio for you, and it changes your recommendations based off of stuff that you've already searched and stuff that you've already watched. So when I watch my videos on incognito, what that does is it allows me to see what YouTube associates my channel with and what kind of content YouTube kind of places my videos in, what kind of neighborhood on YouTube my videos are in. And that kind of gives me more of an idea of the type of people who watch my video and what they're interested in more, along with, of course, my analytics. I do watch my analytics and see what my audience likes more of. I listen to the comments, but that's one way that I get to see what the YouTube algorithm associates my channel with. So from there, I'll get an idea, I'll put my spin on it, my flip on it, and I'll do it myself. And then it usually does good when I choose a video like that.
Okay. Algorithm. Can you talk about that? The YouTube algorithm?
Yeah, so the YouTube algorithm, because it's a business, right? YouTube, they're just interested mainly in like watch time and dollars. So they tend to push videos that have high CPMs. So YouTube's videos that get them more money, and then high watch times as well, and high engagement. Because what YouTube wants ultimately is watch time, and they want their viewers to stay on their channel or on their platform. Because if you're not on YouTube, you're on something else. You're on Hulu, Netflix, maybe Instagram. You're like on another platform. So what they want is watch time and engagement. So if you upload a video and in the first few minutes or first few hours, I should say, it's doing well, the algorithm is most likely going to push you some more. So that's kind of like a tip behind your algorithm. Like in the first hour, you should probably be commenting back to comments and stuff like that, and trying to boost up that engagement within the first hour.
Can we talk about your viral video? One of the things you said is like not to chase trends, which you kind of did with the dad makeup voiceover. Can you talk about the benefits of actually chasing that trend and some of the things that didn't work that you learned from that?
Yeah, okay. So that video at the time, it was like a makeup trend that was going around, and a lot of people were doing like, my boyfriend does my makeup, my voiceover, and my dad, I thought it would be so funny if my dad did my voiceover, because he's always like cracking jokes on me. He's always making fun of me. So he did it. It was funny. It was cool. And the video did really well. It was like on different social media platforms. I don't have a Twitter, so it was like all over Twitter, all over Facebook. I didn't have a Facebook either. And it did go viral, and it got a lot of views. It did make a lot of money, because I ended up selling it to, there was a media company that pitches to the Ellen Show, and they bought that video off of me. They bought the rights for that video off of me, so I don't own that video anymore, but I still get the AdSense revenue from that video. But I would say that the game there was the money behind it, and it was a funny like joke. Like, me and my dad still laugh about that video to this day. But what I learned is that when you do videos just because it's trendy, but it has nothing to do with what your channel is about, it doesn't necessarily grow your channel or your subscribers. So that video, I got like 2.2 thousand subscribers, I believe, says my analytics, but it has like 800,000 views. So that's not a very good conversion, like views versus people who subscribe. So it ultimately didn't grow my channel. And I learned that if you're gonna hop on a trend, it needs to pertain to what your channel is about. Because I was not a makeup channel. My dad wasn't on my channel. My channel wasn't like a comedy channel either. So it wasn't great for the overall growth of my channel, but it was a learning experience, I would say.
Yeah, that when I heard that story, I'm like, yo, I've never thought about that, when people actually buy your content from you. What was that experience like? That was the first time you've done it?
Yeah, that was my first time I had done it. It was just, I was getting a lot of, you know, those, I think they're like social media sites where they just have a bunch of viral videos, and you'll see a viral video over and over, but it'll have different logos in the corner. So at the time, I was getting a lot of questions from different media sources asking if they can post it on their Facebook group. They're like, oh, we have like 6 million followers on our Facebook. We're going to post it and we'll credit you, da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, sure. Just put my link in the description, go for it. But then someone had asked me, like, have you sold it already? And I was like, sold it to who? That doesn't make no sense. And then I got another inquiry around the same time that the first one came in, and it was like, oh, well, we're willing to buy it. So then I went back to the first person. I was like, no, I haven't sold it yet, but, you know, I have some inquiries. I said some, like there was more than one. But I was like, yeah, we have some inquiries. So I haven't sold it yet. So they came with their proposal. And then I told the other person, like, oh, another media company is willing to buy it for this much. So then the second one ended up having a better price, and I just sold it to them. But the funny thing was that all of that happened like a year and a half, maybe 2 years after I'd already posted that video. So it was weird because the traffic had already died down on that video. Like, I had already made my YouTube AdSense money on that video, and it was like dying down. So I guess some other media outlet picked it up, and then it went viral, and like it was kind of a different community, really. It wasn't like the audience that had seen it prior.
Chance, another EYL alumni, he had a post on Instagram a few days ago, and he was like, a lot of viral videos don't go viral for like 2 to 3 years or even 5 years after it actually comes out, whether it's social media or, so you never know. It's like, don't give up on content, because you might think, this just flopped. Even Mickey Facts, we had him on, shout out to Mickey Facts, and he had a video that went viral on Instagram when he was rapping Funk Flex about financial literacy. And he was like, when he first put it out, it didn't really get traction. And then out the blue, like earlier this year, it just started blowing up on like a lot of Black financial literacy pages. Just so you never know. But I want to ask you about that video, because you put that on YouTube and I saw it. And when you did it, you showed like the clip of it, of the analytics. So on the clip, I actually saw the ascent revenue that you made was like $68,000 from that. It's on there. It's on your page. So.
He's like, I'm not exposing practice.
It's just kind of what we do.
So is that something like, is that like something like, all right, so you made $68,000 on a video that had like, how many views did it have? 900,000?
800. Yeah, it was like 800,000.
So that's like typical for like a million. Obviously, it depends on CPM and all of that. But like, what was the CPM for that video?
Ooh, I'm not sure what the CPM was on that video actually, but That was over the lifetime. So that was when I posted it. I think was that 2017, I think I posted that, or maybe 2018, but it was over the lifetime. So from the moment I posted it to the current like day that I screenshotted it. So over time, yeah, that's how much it made. I think it was because of the timing too, because I posted it closer to the holidays, and when it did go viral, it was during the holidays when AdSense revenue is the highest. But yeah, once it starts gaining a lot of traction and it starts going higher, I noticed that the CPM starts jumping higher and higher. And so that's why I ended up doing so well. But I've noticed that it doesn't necessarily matter what your subscriber count is, or even what your channel size is or anything like that. Because some people, they'll post a video on like how much they made on YouTube. And I appreciate the transparency. I respect it, honestly, because someone had posted how much she makes. And I think she has like 1.4 million subscribers. And she had said that she makes like on average about $4,000 a month. I was like, this don't make sense. Because when that video went viral and I was making a lot of money off of it, I wasn't even at 20,000, I don't think. Like my channel was pretty small. So it doesn't necessarily matter what like your subscriber count is. All of that's predetermined by YouTube. And I try to tell people when they're thinking about making that transition from being an employee to being your own boss full time, and like you're using money from YouTube to try and like forecast your budget. I always tell people like you don't really have control over the CPM, because it's kind of like you're putting out a product. You don't know how many people are going to buy it, and you don't know what you're going to sell it for either. You're just putting out a product, and whatever money you get, you get. And it's not like you can go back to YouTube and go tell them like, actually, you guys told me that I only had 5,000 impressions on the ads this month, but I went and asked my viewers and they told me actually they all watched it. Like you can't go back and dispute it with YouTube. If they tell you that's how much you're making, that's how much you're making. So I wouldn't know why it made so high, but it did, and I appreciated it and I took it. But I always take AdSense revenue as a bonus. So I don't rely on AdSense revenue, because that just puts you in a very vulnerable place with your finances. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like being vulnerable with my finances. I like to be very calculated and very like precise. So yeah, it's kind of a toss up. You don't know why it made so much and what the reason is.
Yeah, spoken like a true accountant. My next thing is the importance of consistency, right? Because after you went viral, it's not like, hey, I'm going to live off this one video for the rest of my life. You started to put out more content that was more themed, right? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So after that first video, actually, it was still a side hustle for me, because my main priority was always finishing with uni and like my 9-to-5 career. So it was still a side hustle. I think after that video, I still was putting out, I wasn't very calculated with my videos. It wasn't until recently, like once I graduated from uni and I was paying more attention to my videos, that I was more calculated and I was more consistent with the theme. But also like as time goes on, I think when I first started, I was like 21-ish. So like my interest at 21 is different from my interest now. So as time went on, I just started making videos that made more sense to me and what I was more interested in, more confident in. So once I started making more self-improvement videos, personal finances, personal development, entrepreneur type videos, that's when I really started to understand the importance of having like a theme throughout videos. And that's why I always try to tell people, like, if I had known now what I knew back then, I would have definitely themed down, niched down on my content, and I wouldn't have been creating content from like all over the place. It would have been some sort of consistent theme throughout. So now when I'm creating content, it's mainly it has to do with money of some sort, personal development, just overall becoming a better version of you. So that's the consistent theme that's throughout all my videos that I try to portray in every single video. It's about something personal development related.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.